We all know about Habitat for Humanity, an extraordinary international organization bringing communities together to build safe, affordable housing for people who need it. There are 2 Habitat organizations in Hampton Roads. The Peninsula and Greater Williamsburg effort is directed by CIVIC alum Janet V. Green, and many alumni have served on Habitat's boards. In fact, Paul Robinson chaired the Southampton Roads Habitat, and it was CIVIC that connected Paul with Chip Slavin.
So I met Chip in CIVIC, class of 2003, and I agree with you, Kathy, that was the best class. Thank you for that.
During his CIVIC year, Chip was the deputy commander for the entire Hampton Roads Navy region, and Paul knew he'd made a connection that could take Habitat to the next level.
We hit it up straight away. Chip is such an affable guy, but you knew that he was someone who had a lot of experience in leadership, especially.
In 2006, for the first time, Habitat launched a nationwide program called Blitz Build. The idea was to recruit professional builders to build homes from the ground up, all in the course of 5 days.
Everybody said, "You're crazy. Don't do this. 10 houses in 1 week? Are you nuts? Have you ever built anything before? No. Do you know anything about construction? No.
So what did Chip know? Well, he knew how to leverage his civic relationships.
As I looked around the room and kind of figured out what had to be done, I saw some people with connections to banks, some people with connections to construction companies. I saw some people that were basically designers. And you know something, if you add it all up, that's exactly what we needed.
It was a winning formula that built 10 homes in 5 days in Portsmouth. Pastor Clifford Barnett said the project invigorated the community.
Anytime you can add resources to a community, I think it strengthens the people in the community.
It's a beautiful feeling to walk in and look around and like, this is mine, this is mine.
After the Portsmouth Blitz Build, we actually got invited by the city of Suffolk to come do our next Blitz Build in Suffolk. I do remember saying to Chip and the city manager at the time, could we just do 10? But they liked the Sweet 16 number a whole lot better. Certainly, we've never done anything like that. And when we went and we talked to some of the builders in the community, they thought we were crazy.
I couldn't understand why other people couldn't understand why this couldn't be done. I knew it would work. I just knew it would work.
And work it did. In 1 week, thanks to civic connections and scores of Habitat volunteers, the Suffolk Blitz Build was the largest in the country. And while that was a remarkable accomplishment, what Chip remembers most were the families whose futures were about to change.
16 different families. If you remember, we had a big chicken dinner and we had like a raffle of which house, which lot was going to go to which family, and then which contractor was going to work with which family. People that had rented their entire life, this was their first home. And it was one of the most heartwarming evenings I think I've spent in my time in Habitat. It was just wonderful. Great people. I'd like to go back and find out how many of them are still living in those same houses.
Really, Chip, let me tell you, we're all still here. We're all still the original homeowners. One family had left and they just moved on. And we have another wonderful family that has moved in. But just want you to know, your labor was not in vain. We're still here. We're still blessing. We're still loving and taking care of this neighborhood. It's just like you left it.
After moving from New York, Jerry Norman's son joined the service, and she became the parent of her great niece and nephew. 8 and 7 when they moved in. Today, they're 15 and 14 and playing with Jerry's grandchildren who'd come by for a visit. Nobody who knows her is surprised that Jerry Norman has been president of the Homeowners Association since day one, and her leadership has formed this culturally diverse community.
Now, the beauty of this is, and it really is beautiful, 16 families all know each other to this day. We all have on our refrigerator every single neighbor's telephone number. We call each other. We're engaged in each other's lives. We also are engaged with Suffolk Police Department, and the slogan from New York, see something, say something. Don't come in this neighborhood, because if we see it, we're going to say it. Chip, love, I know you're loving California and the warm weather. Come out and visit us sometime, and thank you. We all thank you for your labor of love and being a part of building this community.
We're sending this video to Chip to let him know that the community he saw in his mind's eye is changing the trajectory for these families. And even in San Diego, Chip's as passionate as ever about the power of CIVIC, the relationships it engenders, the resources it leverages, the leadership it calls forward that will shape a stronger future for all of us.
If there's some issue that you feel strongly about, look around your civic classmates and even other classes and see what you can add up. And that's why I think the opportunity to solve community issues comes from a place like CIVIC. We're it.